And it's very interesting that the first step to Jesus' global reign is not a drawn sword. Isn't that fascinating? This is not like radical Islam, where you've got Jesus and his followers, and they're going to go now on this global crusade and force people to convert. You contrast the difference between how Muhammad entered Mecca and how Jesus entered Jerusalem. Muhammad rode in on a war horse accompanied by 400 mounted warriors and 10,000 foot soldiers. Those who welcomed him were absorbed into the movement. Those who didn't were killed or made slaves. Muhammad conquered Mecca and set himself up as this religious, political, and military leader. And that's what the foolish, sinful, limited wisdom of man says. You solve the world's problems with the sword. Jesus comes and he rides in humbly and lowly on a donkey, and his heart is weeping and breaking for the people. The manner of his entry is not proclaiming warfare, but proclaiming a gospel of peace. He doesn't come on Palm Sunday to kill. He comes, as we see on Good Friday, he comes to be killed. Worldly wisdom would deem that to be a very foolish and ridiculous way to begin a global reign. How stupid! He's coming in on a donkey, talking about peace, headed for a cross. What kind of king is that? What kind of victory is that? That's stupid. Why are we even calling this the triumphal entry? What's the point? Here's the point. The crowds were not wrong in wanting a king to rescue them. And they're not wrong in wanting deliverance from Roman oppression. And folks, we are not wrong when we see evil and injustice done in the world or done to us, and we cry out, "Save now." The problem is that they didn't understand, and we don't understand what our biggest problem is. Friends, if Jesus would have given the people what they wanted, if Jesus drew a sword and went into Jerusalem and throughout Israel, rounding up and killing all the bad guys, Jesus would have rounded up and destroyed everyone, including those people who were waving palm branches and crying out, "Hosanna." If we want all of the wicked people, all of the evil people in our contemporary times to be done away with, to be destroyed, then yes, all of the dictators and all of the tyrants and all of the criminals and all of the murderers would be rounded up and punished, and you would be among them. And if you're sitting there offended and in shock, then that's just proof that you still don't understand. Your biggest problem, friend, your biggest problem is not other people or circumstances. Now, I grant you that other people and circumstances outside of you can cause you much grief and lots of problems. I get that. And we look at these external factors and we cry out, "Save now." But friend, your biggest problem and my biggest problem aren't those external forces. The biggest problem is you. The biggest problem is me. It's not what's outside of us, it's what's inside of us in our very hearts.